In this video, The Awful Truth About College, I will give another dating advice, and this one's avoid the parasites. And as always, you can like, subscribe, leave a comment. I don't read comments, but you can leave a comment if you want. I don't read them. For free, check out the description. And this is just a tip that you should know. Avoid the parasites, especially if you're getting a college education, especially if you're in STEM. Classes, the majors that actually make sense, not some nonsense like women's studies or whatever, humanities, stuff like that, junk that doesn't pay any real money, I'm talking about, especially if this is about any type of college education, but mainly if you're going to be making decent money, or if you're an athlete. I don't care if you're male or female, you will have to deal with parasites. Basically, these parasites are basically people that want to go out with you. They don't want to go out with you because they care about you. They'll pretend they care about you. They'll talk all sweet and nice and all that stuff to you, but they don't really care about you. They care about what you're going to do for them later on. Yeah, they may want to get married to you, of course, because they want your money. You got to avoid them. I remember I had a student. She was very smart, heading towards medical school. Very smart. I mean, she was smart. Unfortunately, when she was 19, she got impregnated. The guy got her pregnant. And the guy was a parasite. I mean, the guy was so dumb, he left their son in a hot car. And he was only with her because she's super smart. She has a future. And this is another thing. He ruined her future. Parasites will ruin your future. And it doesn't matter male, female, all that. I don't care about what gender they are. They're going to screw you over if they get a chance. Some people will. Now, you can't say, well, a person that's poor is going to be a parasite. No. It doesn't matter how much money they have. A parasite just wants to hook up to you because they want your influence or your money. Usually they're not going to want to work. They're not going to work. And especially once they get their hooks into you. That's why you do not want to let them get you pregnant, and you don't want to get them pregnant. That's why you wear protection or have them wear protection, whatever gender you are and whatever your preferences are. Always avoid the parasites. They usually, when you expect you to pay for everything, they rarely buy anything for you, like birthdays, Christmas, anniversaries, stuff like that. Or if they do, it's going to be cheap stuff, because they're not going to spend their money on you. Usually if all your friends are warning you that, hey, that person is a parasite, that person you do not want to be with, you're usually going to want to listen to your friends. Okay, because they're going to see what you don't see. Because love blinds you. You do not want to end up like this. I'm not like this because of a parasite. I dated a parasite before. And just not that she was an obvious parasite. And most parasites, they really don't hide it too much because they really can't. It's obvious because they just there for your money. Like there was a guy going to play basketball. The woman took the condom and tried to put his semen inside her. I don't know how successful she was, but those athletes, if you're an athlete, football, basketball, baseball, or whatever, you're going to get parasites. And women, if you're attractive, even if you're not in college, but if you're attractive, you're going to get a lot of male parasites. That's just how it is, because they want to show you off to their buddies, Not all people that that are interested in you are parasites, but you gotta be careful of these predators, parasites. They're going to be overly aggressive. They're rude. Watch how they behave towards others. When you go out to eat, how do they treat the waiter or the waitress? Because that's how they're going to treat you eventually. How do they treat children and the elderly? How do they treat people in public? How do they act in public? Are they overly protective? You don't want to be with people like that. Avoid the parasites. Avoid the predators. I once worked at a department store with this woman. I went to 5th grade with her, but I was in high school at this time, and I met her when we worked again at this department store. She wasn't dating a parasite. I don't know if he was a parasite, but he was definitely a predator. And the other guy was just happened to be walking next to her as they were both going up front, and he went ballistic on the guy. And there was another guy that was just in her, and he basically, I don't want to get into all this stuff. But be careful of these predators and these parasites. Watch how they treat people. When they're driving, I even made a video about it. How do they drive? Are they overly aggressive while they drive? Because when people think they're alone, they show their true nature. When they're alone with you, you can tell, like, a lot of times parasites, if they're females, they're not going to really let you touch them a lot. Sometimes, a lot of times, or they might just to get you hooked, but you know they won't go a certain distance at first, maybe, or they may let you so they can get pregnant and they get their hooks into you. And the same with women. The male parasites definitely are not going to want to use protection because they want you to get pregnant so they can screw with you. They can hook up and get the little tentacles into you and they get your money. Be careful of parasites. Don't let them ruin your lives, okay? I'm sure there are good videos on YouTube that will help you identify those bastards. Please watch them. I don't care how smart you think you are, how good you think you are. They know how to. They will be able to trick you. They know how to trick you. Don't let them screw your life over. Okay, don't get like there's so many things in college that's going to screw you over. You got those social justice warriors that are going nuts. They don't want anybody to have free speech. They just want their speech listened to, and no one else's. You got your professors only want their viewpoints taught. You know, they want you only to hear their viewpoints. You got your classes. Some of them are extremely difficult. You don't need additional stress of these parasites. And this is also if you're not in college too. Thanks.